علمه البيان والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنام نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. صلوا على رسول الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد صلاة تفتح لنا أبواب الرضا وتيسير وتغلق بها عنا أبواب الشر وتعسير. أنت مولانا فنعم المولى ونعم النصير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا صالحا متقبلا. اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا التأويل. May Allah make us all people of Quran. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Ayah 62 in Surah An-Nur. You can open it up on your phone and follow along, inshallah. Ayah 62 in Surah An-Nur. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله وإذا كانوا معه على أمر جامع لم يذهبوا حتى يستأذنوه. إن الذين يستأذنونك أولئك الذين يؤمنون بالله ورسوله فإذا استأذنوك لبعض شأنهم فأذن لمن شئت منهم واستغفر لهم الله إن الله غفور رحيم. صدق الله العظيم. This ayah is Surah An-Nur is very important for all communities. I encourage all communities to study Surah Al-Hujurat and Surah An-Nur specifically. This is the advice of Shaykh Ali Hani. That is exactly why I taught the tafsir of Surah Al-Hujurat and now I'm continuing with Surah An-Nur. But this ayah is very, very important for those that are involved in leadership. All of us are involved in leadership. Either you are a leader or you are under leadership. This is the case. This is how the ummah works. Okay? And so we're going to read the translation and then I'll do an in-depth dive into the tafsir, relying again on Mustafa Khattab and clear, because it's clear Quran and it's clear. The true believers are only those who believe in Allah and His Messenger, and when they are with Him on a public, communal matter, they do not leave without His permission. Indeed, those who ask your permission, Ya Rasulullah, are the ones who truly believe in Allah and His Messenger. So when they ask your permission for a private matter, grant permission to whoever you wish and ask Allah's forgiveness for them. Surely Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the beginning of this verse 62, He says, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, only the believers, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ, those that have iman with Allah and His Messenger. Only the believers. Who does this take out then? The munafiqun, the hypocrites, whatever is going to be mentioned in this ayah, the hypocrites are not going to be seen. These qualities are describing who? The believers. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ أَدَاةُ حَصْرٍ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَإِذَا كَانُوا مَعَهُ, and when they are with Rasulullah عَلَى أَمْرٍ جَامِعٍ, okay, when they are with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam on a communal matter, لَمْ يَذْهَبُوا, they do not leave and go حَتَّى يَسْتَأْذِنُوهُ, until they take permission from sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sallu ala Rasulullah. When they are with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam on a collective matter. What is this referring to? This ayah was revealed, some of the mufassirun mentioned, when they were digging up the trench. And the believers, if they ever needed to go attend to some important task that they could only fulfill, they would what? Ask Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam for permission and then leave. The munafiqun, they would only come just to show their faces. I'm here, look at me. And then they would leave and come and go as they pleased. There was no serious accountability, they didn't care. The believers, every time, they sought permission from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So ala amrin jami', on a communal matter, whenever the believers are with Rasulullah, they always sought permission. Some examples of that is when they are, for example, in Jum'ah. If one of them had to get up and leave, they would stand up and wait for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to give permission with his hand that you can go. Or if they are in a mashwara, or if they're in a gathering where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is taking suggestions from all of the Sahaba. You see, in those cases, whenever they were with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they would not leave without seeking permission. And this concept of just seeking permission was a sign of their iman. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ are those people that take permission. If you know in the ayat before what we were discussing, those that take permission to enter into gatherings, that enter into homes. The believers, they don't just take permission to enter into homes, they also take permission into Leaving the gatherings. There's a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sunan Imam al-Tirmidhi. إذا انتهى أحدكم إلى المجلس فليسلم فإذا أراد أن يقوم فليسلم فليست الأولى بأحق من الآخرة. The Prophet ﷺ, if you want to get up from a gathering, give salams. You want to leave from a gathering, give salams. And not one is better than the other. You see? You give salams when you enter and you give salams when you leave, especially with Rasulullah ﷺ. Now a question. This idea of seeking permission to leave the gathering of Rasulullah ﷺ, does this only apply to him? Does this ruling only apply to him, or can it be applied elsewhere? Everywhere. But is it going to be the same status as leaving the gathering of Rasulullah ﷺ? No, it's not. It's yatafawat. If you are under the rule of an Islamic ruler, of course, then you have to abide. You cannot just leave as you go, as you please. This is a very serious matter. Okay. But if you're in a gathering of knowledge, you're in a gathering of this, you don't just get up and leave. Or let's say as masjid leadership, we have gatherings, and we're hoping that just because everyone is doing volunteer hours, you're not serving people, you're serving who? Allah Azza wa Jal. So that even then, you should seek permission from leadership before just leaving and exiting meetings as you as you want. Huh? For fundraising as well. Again, they are at different priorities and different ahkam based off of that. And the reason why I said this is so important is because all of our organizations now, all of our masajid, how are they run? Volunteer based. And if a person does not have true devotion to Allah and His religion, then you all know that volunteer tasks, what are they usually done? It's loosely done. There's no discipline. Because it's not a job. People are just, whatever extra time I have, I'll give to the masjid. But this is not how we should think about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does He say? وَإِذَا كَانُوا مَعَهُ, when they are with Him, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the ulama of Lugha, they mention, of course, this is going back to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But can this also be in reference to Allah Azza wa Jal? Yes. Because when you're serving Allah and His religion, when you're serving the masjid, when you're serving your community, when you're serving Muslims, who are you serving? Who are you with? Allah. Who are you with? Allah Azza wa Jal. وَإِذَا كَانُوا مَعَهُ مَعَ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ مَعَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم في خدمة دينه على أمر جامع لم يذهبوا حتى يستأذنوا, until they take permission. And wallahi, when you look at the beauty of Islam, every single time, 5 times a day, we all stand up and we line up for salah. What does this imagery give you, kind of remind you of? It reminds you of the discipline of soldiers, how they are all in line, in rows. They march, in a specific way. They have their drills, they have their assemblies, they have all of this. Okay, and then who are they obeying? The leader of their barracks, the general, whoever it is. But who are we obeying? Allah. So even if I am the imam, for example, in salah, are you obeying me? No. Let's say I am leading Salat al-Fajr and I stand up for third rak'ah. Are you going to stand up with me? What are you going to do? And this is hukum fiqhi. If I stand up for third rak'ah, you're going to stand up with me? Imam stood up? You stay sitting. You stay sitting. You stay sitting. You stay sitting. If I go end up praying 4 rak'ahs, you still stay sitting. Until I give salams, you give salams, and then we all have to repeat. Fahimtum? So you don't follow the imam. You keep reminding him, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. I make a mistake. What do you tell me? You made a mistake. You made a mistake. Because we're all obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're all in accordance to Him. Surah As-Saff. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يُحِبُّونَ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِهِ صَفًّا. They all stand in a row. So this is the discipline of Muslims. So the discipline of Muslims does not only happen in salah time, where we all stand in accordance properly in salah, and then outside of the masjid there's no discipline. Somebody took a really funny picture. They showed a picture of people standing up in salah in perfect line, perfect order. But then when you go look at the slippers, it's like a hurricane. I don't know what happened there. Tsunami. And then when you look at the cars, mashallah, one person parked like this, one person... Sorry, I always park bad. Hope nobody notices. But Muslims are supposed to show their discipline that they make in salah outside of their affairs too, in all forms of even volunteer work that they do. Okay? وَإِذَا كَانُوا مَعَهُ عَلَى أَمْرٍ جَامِعٍ لَمْ يَذْهَبُوا حَتَّى يَسْتَأْذِنُوا. They do not just walk away, because again, you're serving the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is very important, because let's say you're volunteering for the masjid. Let's say you're trying to serve a role in the masjid. A lot of people, they want to take positions of leadership. We don't need leaders. You know what we need? Soldiers. Everyone wants to be a leader, but every good leader at one point in time in his life was a good soldier. You cannot skip that pathway. You cannot just jump to being a leader and you were never a soldier. You see? And the reality is, even in our own masjid, I'll tell you a big gap that we have is that the committees, we need more committees. We need volunteer committees. Alhamdulillah, we have a lot of people that are active in our community, but how much more productive could we be if every single individual put in extra effort to doing whatever it is? If you look at, mashallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward Brother Sadat. Say Ameen. Ramadan, 24/7, he's running, setting tables, setting chairs, setting this. And brother Saif as well. And there's like a few, I mean, mashallah, all of you, okay, all of you, alhamdulillah. But if I acknowledge everyone, brother, the dars is going to go, khalas. The point is, what I'm trying to say is that imagine if all of us felt that sense of accountability and then we put in that effort. And we didn't just leave whenever we please, come when we please. Oh, it's a masjid, I don't need to give that much importance. Oh, I said I'm going to do such and such thing, but I didn't do it. Oh, I planned this thing, but I'm not going to do it. No. حَتَّى يَسْتَأْذِنُوا until they seek permission. This is how we should feel with the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَأْذِنُونَكَ Those that take permission from you, Ya Rasulullah, أُولَٰئِكَ Those people, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ Those are those people that believe in Allah and His Messenger. Those are that quality of seeking permission and having that level of ihtimam. Those are the people that are the believers. فَإِذَا اسْتَأْذَنُوكَ And if they seek permission from you, Ya Rasulullah, لِبَعْضِ شَأْنِهِمْ For some of their affairs. Allah Azza wa Jalla in the beginning of this verse, He says, أَمْرٍ جَامِعٍ A communal matter. He uses the word amr. What does He use? Amr. But then over here, another word that is interchangeably used for affair is sha'an, okay? But there is a difference. You know what the difference is? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He uses the word sha'an, okay, this is for something of significance. Okay, Raghib al-Asfahani, he says, الشأن لا يقال إلا فيما يعظم من الأحوال والأمور. Something that is significant. The Sahaba, did they seek permission to leave when Rasulullah ﷺ needed them for small things? Oh, I have to go home, I have to take care of something. They don't tell you what it is. I have to go home, I have to do something. No. Only when something really required their attention and nobody else could fulfill that task. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Surah Ar-Rahman, كُلَّ يَوْمٍ هُوَ fi sha'n. Every single day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in a sha'n, something significant. Okay? Same thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word sha'n for the believers, that they only seek permission فَإِذَا اسْتَأْذَنُوكَ لِبَعْضِ شَأْنِهِمْ For some of those affairs that really require their attention, that they need to fulfill. Okay, not just small things that, I have to go, I forgot to take out the trash or something. No. Like, my kids are stuck at school, I have to go pick them up, so I have other responsibilities, so I'm not able to attend the meeting. Again, having this level of importance when you're serving the people, the Muslims, and you're serving the deen of Allah, and you're serving the masjid. فَأْذَنْ لِمَنْ شِئْتَ مِنْهُمْ Ya Rasulullah, you have authority to give permission to whoever you want. Okay, you have permission to give. Who has authority? Rasulullah ﷺ, to dismiss them and whatnot. But in another ayah in Surah At-Tawbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Rasulullah, عَفَى اللَّهُ عَنْكَ May Allah forgive you. لِمَا أَذِنْتَ لَهُمْ لِمَا عَفَى اللَّهُ عَنْكَ Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, عَفَى اللَّهُ عَنْكَ لِمَا أَذِنْتَ لَهُمْ Why did you give them permission, Ya Rasulullah? Wait, so how do we understand the ayah in Surah At-Tawbah and the ayah here? If He has authority to give permission, not give permission, then why is Allah telling him, why did you give them permission? What's the difference between the context of this surah, Surah An-Nur, and Surah At-Tawbah? Imam Sheikh Mukhtar Shinqiti, the author of Adwa al-Bayan, the father of my teacher Sheikh Abdullah, he mentions that the context in Tawbah is regarding jihad, a very serious thing. So Allah was telling Rasulullah that why did you give that person permission? Why did you give them permission, the munafiqun, to leave? You know why? Because even if you didn't give them permission, would they have come to jihad? The munafiq? He would not have come. So what would it have been? It would have been a clear-cut proof against them. It would have been a final verdict against them. Over here, it's not that issue. The munafiqun, do they care to take permission on small things on a day-to-day basis? Or do they take permission to leave when they are called for battle? When do they take permission? When they're called for battle. On the day-to-day things, they're not even showing up in the first place. The believers, they're the people that even on the day-to-day things, on the times when there's communal things, when Rasulullah is in need of them and is asking for them, even in those instances, they are asking permission, subhanAllah. This is the quality that is shown about them. Over there, it's not. Over here, the believer, only the believers are the ones seeking the permission. So what are the munafiqun doing? Are they seeking permission? No, they're not. Over there, they're seeking permission so that they can get out of jihad. Over here, they're not because they don't care in the first place. The believers are because they know who they are serving. They're serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they are with the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do you understand the difference now? So there's no contradiction between this ayah and this ayah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has authority, but the context between this surah and that surah was different. فَأْذَنْ لِمَنْ شِئْتَ مِنْهُمْ, give permission to whoever you will, Ya Rasulullah. وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُمُ اللَّهِ, and seek forgiveness for them from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ rahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all forgiving, all merciful. Why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning that seek forgiveness for them, Ya Rasulullah? Because even though Rasulullah gives them permission, even though they took permission from Rasulullah to tend to their things, what was better for them to do? To be with Rasulullah ﷺ and to be in those communal discussions, to be in the salah, to be in the jihad, to be in the preparation of the khandaq, whatever it may be, that's still better for them. So Ya Rasulullah, still seek forgiveness for them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all forgiving, all merciful. This is also a lesson for leaders. Inshallah, all of us are leaders in one capacity or another. كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ. Leaders should make dua for their people. You should make dua for the people that you are serving. You should make dua for the people that you are in charge of, your family, your children, your wife, your spouse, your grandchildren, whoever it may be, whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your work, I don't know, whatever situation you might have, make dua for them for success. And not just say, oh, I made dua for you. No, do it in secret, inshaAllah ta'ala. وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُمُ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ اللَّهُمَّ اغْفِرْ لَنَا جَمِيعًا وَاجْعَلْنَا. نعم. Yes. Bismillah.
So from this lecture we learned about
Yeah.
so when you wanna leave
Yeah.
or you wanna enter or leave,
Yeah.
you will seek for the permission.
Yes.
You will give salam and seek.
Yes, yes.
So now we are in a serious discussion.
Yeah.
So now if I give you salam,
Oh no, so of course, this is a very good question. Brother asked a very good question, as Imam Zakir Naik says, Sheikh Zakir Naik. Brother asked a very good question. But you have to look at the context. Let's say I'm giving a dars in the masjid, I have my camera set up, everyone is quiet, and then you come in, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now everyone is going to look at you and there goes the attention from the class. No. Then you just come in quiet. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. You just sit down. And you sit down in a place where you're not going to cause inconvenience for everyone. Again, you have to use, let's say you walk in late to a classroom, okay, again, a Muslim university, and then you walk in and you say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The professor is going to be like, man, this guy is going to get an F in my class. Every time he comes late and then he causes distraction. No. Again, you have to use common sense. Yeah, common sense. Alhamdulillah.
People reciting Quran, that time they don't need to.
Yes, and a lot of times even when people are reciting Quran, don't go and say, Assalamu alaikum, how are you? No, let the guy read Quran peacefully without distracting him. Yeah.
When our Tabligh Jamaat
Yeah.
Mashwara,
Yeah.
if anybody leave,
Yeah.
he just not the
Yeah.
sound, but
Yeah.
ishara.
Ishara to the Amir. Wallahi al-Azim, the few times, not few times, I went a lot actually, Jama'at al-Tabligh. Growing up every day, my dad would drag me Friday night, khalas. Every Friday, markaz. I got so accustomed to in Inglewood Masjid. But one of the things is that if you have the Amir of the Jama'ah, you cannot go anywhere without seeking his permission. You want to go to the grocery store? Amir Sahib, can I go grocery store? You want to go? Wallahi, you think it might be like funny or whatnot, but it shows there's a hierarchy, there's discipline. You don't just do whatever you want following your desires. No, you follow the structure. You come here, you follow structure, you're a soldier. If you're supposed to do dhikr, you're going to do dhikr. You're going to do jawla, you're going to do jawla. You're supposed to do this. So if anything, what Jama'at Tabligh really provides for young people and even for all people is that discipline and that structure of leadership. That's why they're able to do so much, mashallah, tabarakallah. Although they are all volunteer based. All of the efforts of Jama'at Tabligh are all volunteer based, yet they go so far and wide. You had a question? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. 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 Yes. Yeah.
And when somebody says salam to you, it is an obligation to return. Like, what's the...
So the ruling is, let's say someone comes in and says salam. If one person says wa alaikum assalam, the obligation is fulfilled upon all of us. Khalas.
Should that person say salam? I mean,
it really depends. Like if you're coming in before salah, some people are praying sunnah, some people are doing this, some people are doing that. It's fine. But it really depends.
Is it an etiquette of the masjid to say salam as you get in? Because that,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. You even say Salamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. Salatu salam alayka ya Rasulullah. You enter into the, we discussed that yesterday. Tahiyyatan min, إذا دخلتم بيوتا, when you enter into houses, not just your own houses, but even the houses of Allah. فسلموا على أنفسكم تحية من عند الله مباركة طيبة. You would even give salams when you're entering into the masjid. Inshallah. وصلى اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم.
So we'll ask permission to you.